Today we're going to be featuring Mcdermott cues, teaching you all about what to look for in a pool cue, taking a look at some of their new shafts that are on the market, looking at price points. Stay tuned. We've got John here, flew out all the way from Wisconsin to talk about Mcdermott pool cues, how they're constructed, and what to look for in a quality pool cue. We're going to show you examples of some less expensive cues by other various manufacturers, what to stay away from, as well as their import line of cues and how they're made and why they are different than the cues from other manufacturers that are made overseas. So we wanted to go over a couple new items, or not fairly new, but they've been out for a while. Some different shaft add-ons that can be purchased to put on an existing Mcdermott cue. John, if you could tell me a little bit about some of these different shafts that you guys have available, what each feature is. This happens to be the big boy. I guess from my understanding, this is a great shaft to be used as either a break cue or a jump cue shaft.
Correct. So, yeah, big boy, the technology is in how it's constructed. It's more of a This is also more of a straight or break taper. It's very short, and it has a Samsara tip. The way a big boy shaft is constructed, it's designed for jumping and breaking. It's really designed to do a great job with that. Utilize a Samsara tip, which is a very hard leather tip. A lot of leagues or several leagues have that actually outlawed as far as having phenolic tips. So a Samsara is great for that, and but this is the best one for breaking and jumping. And then as far as going further with eye shafts, the other two that we utilize is an I2 and an I3. The I2 is more a universal shaft for everybody that plays. It's a pro taper, 12 3/4 is standard on the tip, and this comes standard with a Kamui soft on it. Black Kamui soft, and so a pro taper will go back from 12 3/4 back about 10 to 12 inches, and then taper to the joint, and that is what a pro taper is. And this is by far our most popular shaft because it's universal to most people playing. It's most comfortable, most forgiving, and people definitely enjoy that. Lots of positive comments. The I3 is a little more for quote-unquote a professional type shooter. They have to be very precise with their stroke to do really well with this. It comes with a Kamui Super Soft as standard, 11 3/4 at the tip with a straight taper or European taper. What that means is it actually starts at 11 3/4 and starts tapering right away all the way to the joint at that same level. So at a 3-year bridge, it would feel about 12 and a half. So that's where it's a little different.
Okay.
And the last low deflection shaft that we offer at this point is a G-core shaft. And this comes standard on most all of our cues, $255 retail up to $699. And this also is a more of a low cost option for people to get involved in. The nice thing about this, it has a carbon fiber rod that runs 7 inches through the center, and that is what makes it very stiff up on top, and that is what provides the low deflection that people are looking for. And this comes with a Everest layer tip as well, which is a very premium tip. And the other thing I'll point out, which I missed, was the construction of the eye shafts. It is actually a carbon fiber rod that runs the full length of the shaft, which is why it is definitely a little more expensive.
As opposed to just the 7 inches
on
top.
the G-core, yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Now, for someone who doesn't own a Mcdermott shaft, can you order a aftermarket or one of your shafts to put on another brand cue? Do you have different
definitely
options for the joints?
Every cue that exists out there, we should be able to do. If it is one that's very exotic, we would need to actually have the butt sent in to match it up at that point. But all the ones that are more standard, your 5/16, 18, 5/16, 14, we can do those without any even sending it in. So
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds excellent. So obviously, the McDermott brand of cue is made here in the United States.
Correct.
It's a 100% American-made cue. Can you tell me a little bit about the process that these cues go through, from maybe the types of raw materials you use, where those raw materials come from? I've done some reading on your website, and talks about them being dried in an environment for like 2 years before you guys actually make a stick out of it. Is that really true?
Some of it is, for sure. Some pieces are not as required to have that because our suppliers are able to provide it already at a state. So we just really can receive it in and turn it
Okay.
to where it needs to go. A lot of the woods, maple, which this butt would be made out of, and some of our more woods and exotic species, so like the cocobolo, bacote, we've had it at our place for 20 to 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so all that is very well aged, and get to work with that. So, but as far as the process of making a butt like this, it's a little bit more than what you'd think. There's actually quite a few pieces here, and like you mentioned, we do have a video on our website. But all these pieces, from the bumper itself, the butt plate, the sleeve, this wrap section, the throat or forearm, and then the joint. These are all separate pieces that are assembled. So actually the main, per se, guts of the cue is these 3 pieces here, which are typically made of some wood of some sort.
Okay.
And yeah, these are typically threaded together with glue and in a threading manufacturing process. So yeah, it's
And then obviously we can, pick and choose whatever weight that the consumer's looking to shoot with as well.
right. Weights are no problem. We have a weight bolt system. In fact, to my knowledge, Mcdermott was the originator of the weight bolt system, one of our claims to fame. And yeah, you just would take the bumper off. There is a bolt in here, most likely. Some people do take them out, but typically then there's about 6 to 7 other weight bolts to put in to change your weight to whatever size you're looking for. But typically a maple cue should weigh about 17 ounces the way we make it. And then you can go up from there up
By
to 21
adding
with the
weight
weight
bolts.
systems. So yeah.
So in regards to warranties on a stick like this, obviously, you've got some cues that go up to $3,500. I saw one for like $100,000 on your website.
Yeah.
What type of warranties come with someone spending that type of money, some sort of assurance that you guys have available?
Yeah, Mcdermott was the originator of a lifetime warranty. 2005 is when we started that program, and we've not wavered from that at all. So cues from 2005 till now are under a full lifetime warranty, including the shaft, as far as anything manufacturing with the butt section, as well as replacing a shaft if necessary. So.
Wow, that's an incredible warranty. Certainly something that I could see needing in an investment like that. I know that you guys have 2 other lines of cues under the McDermott umbrella.
Yeah.
I guess these are cues that are manufactured offshore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could tell me a little bit about your Star and your Lucky Cue. It looks like these are maybe more for the budget-minded person that's still looking for something that has some quality behind it.
Right.
I've got one of your
Yeah.
Star cues here. I grabbed that off the shelf.
Sure.
I like the design on there with
Yep.
the gun.
Yep, so our Lucky line is priced between $42.50 up to $99. Many choices. It's actually patterned after the McDermott line, which is more your basic stain models, and then as you go up the line, you'll notice there'll be either design with the graphics on the cue or actual ring work. Like this even has some trim rings at the joint. And as you go up the line, you'll actually see why you would pay a little bit more for it.
So John, this is one of your lucky cues that you guys have. How is it, compared to the Mcdermott stuff that's made here in the States, as well as the Star cue? What differentiates this particular cue versus the other cues that you have?
Okay. Well, Lucky and the Star, they are made overseas, but they are made to our standards at Mcdermott. So even the shaft wood is a Michigan or Canadian maple that is actually sent over to overseas, and then they work on it, and it comes back as a finished cue. Even the shaft wood as well as the butt section wood. So the pricing of the cues tends to run around $40 to $99 on the Luckies, and the Star cues range anywhere from $109 up to $199. And the differences with how the cues work there, the Lucky and the Star, you'll notice in the catalog or the website when you look, they're actually priced on design and what's going into the cue. So a basic Lucky cue starts off with just a plain stain, and then you get to a cue like this, has actual paint on it with a little bit of trim rings, and then you go up to where it has more graphics and design points, but not actual points. And then at that point, you move into the Star brand. The Star brand starts, like I said, at $109. That'll be a plain maple cue with the different stains, and then you also get into more graphics as you move up in price, inlays. There's even some inlays in the Star line, and yeah, it's very neat. And the price points hit a lot of people. And then when you move into the Mcdermott, like you had mentioned, these are all U.S. American made in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, and have been there for 40 years. This is our 40th anniversary. So
that sounds pretty attractive on a cue like this with a lot of inlays, because typically a lot of the cues that are made overseas, from my knowledge, is they use a lot of decals. So to actually get an actual inlaid wood or some sort of stones inlaid into the cue for that type of money is actually a pretty good deal. Then when you're actually talking about the shaft being an American made or Canadian wood to begin with, as opposed to other stuff that I know like this here, which is made overseas, but the wood doesn't come from here. So yeah, the integrity of the cue, even though they're made in the same country, the raw materials that are used are totally different, which obviously sets that apart. And we find here at the store that we sell a lot of your products, because of the quality and the price point, and it really hits home that you do have some great quality built into these cues at that price. So
right, yeah, they're definitely made to our specifications. So certainly we're more than happy. They have a warranty on how the cue is constructed. It's a 3-year warranty and a lifetime warranty on how this cue is constructed. We do not have a lifetime warranty on the shafts. It's when you purchase it, just make sure it's straight, and it should stay straight. You shouldn't have any problem with that as long as you take care of it like you take care of yourself. That's the general rule on any cue. So,
well, great. I'm glad that we were able to go over this and inform our customers of what to look for in a cue. I appreciate your time coming all the way out today. Thank you, John.
That sounds great.
And hopefully we can sell some cues. Now, if you guys are in the Sacramento or Stockton, Modesto area, we carry a large variety of Mcdermott cues. One of the neat things about our stores is we're one of the few stores in the area that actually have tables set up to play on. So you can actually come in, you can pull a cue off the shelf. We've got Mcdermott cues that range from the $49 to the $500 price point that you're able to come hit some balls on. And that's not something you can normally do in most places. You certainly can't do that online. Our prices are going to be as competitive online. If you find something online cheaper than we have it in the store, we'll match it. It's not a problem. Thanks for watching our video today, and stay tuned for more videos regarding pool tables, other brands of pool cues, and other things for your home.